Last week, inside of the Ultimate Support Group for Online Tutors, I gave 4 clues about what we're going to be talking about today. So maybe you heard some of those clues, like changed the way I tutor, 2D to 3D, hands-on, and gamified tutoring. And if it sparks your interest, I hope you're watching, because today you're going to learn about how Koala Go has totally changed the way that I tutor. Now, you're going to get to see what's the difference between Koala Go and Zoom. I've been using Zoom for the last 10 years, and I've had a great run. Before that, I used Skype, and I was convinced I wouldn't change to anything else. It had to be like superb, significantly better in order for me to switch, because you get used to the way that you do things. So if you would like to know what actually made me make the switch and what does it look like inside of Koala Go, keep watching. Hey, welcome back. So I told you that I would be comparing Koala Go and Zoom and what has made me really make that switch. So as we take a look, I want you to see exactly what did Zoom do for me that I absolutely loved. I mean, the big game-changing thing for me was that, my students would be able to take over the controller. I loved that. But it didn't work on all computers. And so I always had to kind of change up the way that I tutored a little bit depending on students' devices. So if they had a Chromebook or if they were on an iPad, oftentimes those features would not be able to be used during our sessions, which kind of led to a little bit more of a sit and get when I talked versus them being a little bit more active. One of the things I've always loved is I could create, when I'm talking about like things that I could do, I would share my screen with them and I would be able to go on into really amazing tools like Word Wall. I'm just going to pull that on up for you guys. Love, love, love this tool. It's like $6 a month, and I can create any game that I want without having gaming knowledge. But my student would see this just like you're seeing this right now, right? So let's say that I was going to be doing, a game where I have them blending some words with the STR pattern. They get to choose. I always have my students choose what they want as like their background. So they could have spring as their background. It's kind of like springy in summer here now. But what I would do is I would make this big, and then I would give the controller to my student. I would just come right on over here. You don't see it. It's something that pops on up when you are sharing. And you can see here, now I can have my student spin, right? If they have the controller. If they don't have the controller, I had to take that part over, and then they would still have the fun with being able to play the game. I love that I had control over what we did, when we did, and how we did it, which was fantastic. I love that I could do these kinds of things. And I use a lot of books inside of Raz Kids. I'm just gonna pull up one of my students here. Let's bring on in Shiva's account. And Shiva has inside of here like a ton of books that he would read, right? So we would just go on over to the reading room. And again, I'm sharing my screen. So this is what it always looked like. And then when I hit on the reading room, you're going to see the different books. Now, Shiva is a 5-year-old student, and so he's at this very beginning basic level of reading. And books that I'm typically using with him would either be, these decodable books or the high frequency word books or the alphabet books, because he's still learning some of his alphabet letters. So I click on it, and then he would read that book. If I at any point in time wanted to make the book bigger, I could always zoom on in and I could make it bigger for him to be able to read. Again, these are things that I've absolutely loved because, I'm engaging the student in reading practices and all of that. And that's kind of like the basics of what I was able to do inside of Zoom. Because I couldn't always give the control or the mouse over to my student depending on what device that they were on. So I've looked at Koala Go since the beginning, guys. So I was actually contacted before the pandemic. Xavier reached out to me and began talking to me about this really cool platform. And I looked at the very first time that I saw what it looked like. I will be honest, I was overwhelmed with the amount of planning that I would need to do in order to make that tool work. So at that point, it was just presented to me as this like 3D world that you have like these different boards. There was no screen sharing that was available at that point in time. There was no other things that really made it a tool that I was like, yes, I want to use this tool. And then, so I kind of like didn't really, I don't know, I thought it was cool, but I kind of moved on. I get approached by whiteboard companies, probably one a week will approach me and be like, I have this awesome new whiteboard tool. You've got to check us out. And, you know, I've just kind of learned to kind of ignore most of them. But then I'm in a reading interventionist call with one of the tutors in my group, and she goes, hey, so I'm using Koala Go. And I was like, oh, show us how you're using it. And she showed us how she was using it. Like, oh, that is so cool. So again, I'm like talking with Xavier, and I'm like, all right, let's check this out. Let's dive in. First student I invite in, he's blipping in and out. He can't have a lesson inside of there because he's on an iPad. And I'm like, darn, you know, like this looks so cool, and I really wanted to be a part of it. Well, you guys, every single thing that's ever held me back has been fixed with Koala Go. And I gotta tell you, my mind is like blown into pieces. So I'm going to have you guys dive on in with me so that you can see some of the features and how they specifically work. So I'm going to show you inside of Zoom so that you guys can see this, which is ironic, isn't it? So it's not like I'm not going to be using the Zoom anymore. I will continue to use it for coaching tutors. I just don't plan on using it with my tutoring students anymore. And the funny thing is, I asked all of my tutoring students, I said, hey, have you ever played Roblox? Have you ever played Minecraft? And all of my students have been like, yeah, like I was just playing it before I got onto a session with you. And I was like, oh, how funny is that? Like, this is the game that kids are playing. And if I can do their tutoring session in a game-like environment like that, that is awesome. So I'm just going to open up right now Olivia's classroom. Each one of my students, I've created a separate classroom for them. I'm going to click here on Invite Student and close because some of the features come on in once I have this. Now, Zoom's never been able to have a reward system built in, right? There's gems that I can give to my students and gift to them when they have a great session. There's stars that I can give them when they're doing a good job. There's confetti comes on down when they're doing a great job. In fact, I should share the sound so that you guys can hear that sound. We're going to come on over here. And I can see the confetti drop. Like, I mean, come on. One day maybe they'll have a mic drop. Boom, right? Like, that would be awesome. But it's saying the camera's failed because I can only have one camera on, obviously, at a time. But my camera would be right on over here. And when my student comes on in, they enter in on the bottom side down here, and it says that student's waiting to be let in. Now, they can't be let in until I click that button. That's kind of cool. And while they're waiting for me to let them in, they can play a little game. So I love this because it's like setting them up for fun and like getting their adrenaline up before they have their session with me. So now if I'm a little bit late, like say I'm a minute or two late from letting them in the door because I'm working with another student, they're already getting their adrenaline up and ready to learn because they've been playing this game. Or I can let them in while I have that other student in, end the session with the other student, or I can do something combined with both of the students. Sometimes just introduce them, make it social, right? Make it a little bit of fun and those kinds of things. And sometimes I'll be inside of one of the worlds with one of my students and then they get that opportunity. But let me show you the whiteboard features just on here that you have. In the past, I have always used just OneNote for my whiteboard. So you'll see here, I've been working on this book about rainbows with one of my students, and we ask questions, we answer those questions. Instead of having to use this tool, I can be doing that right here inside of Koala Go. And you can add as many pages as you want to be able to add on here. If you didn't want to get rid of a page ever, you don't have to. You just keep going to add pages, and you can see here, you just add slide. Add slide, as many slides as you want. One of the cool things, I'm going to just do this real quick. These are the letters that one of my students has mastered. And really getting her to understand, like, she's learned both of the letters together, that these are both N, they make that N sound, but when I pull them apart, she doesn't always still connect that this and this go together. So what I'm having her do is I'm having her now, like, pull these letters together, put them with their teams. She can actually pull these together, put the M's together, find the S, put the S together. This is such a great sorting activity, and this is engaging their brain and their mind. This is hands-on learning. This is the kind of learning that we were able to do when we were in person, and now we're able to do it right here, like, instantaneously. I can create whatever I want on these little sticky notes, right? I can just type on here, a word if I want to. If I have cat, right, I can type that on there. I can make the sticky note as big as I want, as small as I want. Don't worry, it won't be a little blurry when it comes on in. So many different things. I can make decks of cards, I can delete them, I can add them. This has not really been a feature unless you use Jamboard, that you could really access. So, very comparable in a way to, like, Jamboard and those kinds of things if you've been used to using Jamboard. You can also add text and type inside of here. So anything that I want to type in here, I can type in here as well. So really, really cool. Really, really cool. I really am loving it. And there's different abilities to, like, here I created just a quick image activity for her to think about uh, which word begins with "eh." We have instruments, we have bubble gum, we have insects. Which two sets of pictures have the "I" sound, right? And she can choose them, we can talk about them. This is phonemic awareness. So this allows me to teach my phonemic awareness in a very easy visual way, and I am loving it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm loving it. I really am. But you guys, this is just the icing on the cake, okay? Because there is a shared co-browser. So I'm going to show you the shared co-browser real quick. On the shared co-browser, this was one of the things that I did not appreciate when I had taken a look at it in the past, was that the books inside of here were so small, the kids couldn't read the words, and I didn't have the ability to enlarge it. They have made this piece a lot bigger. So look how big this is compared to, like, when I opened it up over here. You can't see it over here, but when I, like, now open on up Shiva, you can see it's already larger, which I love. I'm gonna click on that reading room. We're gonna go to we're gonna go to the leveled books again. Let's take a look at the early reading. Go to the letter B book. And you'll notice it's actually really, really big compared to before, and even if I go to the other books and those kinds of things, they are a really good size, which is something that was, like, I didn't like how it wasn't as big before. So I really, really do like this a lot. Like, if I click on here now there's games inside of here because I and the kid can play them. So if I go here to one of the vocabulary games with the book, these games, he can actually play because he's got over here the ability to click. Let's go to real quick the phonics games with them. So I'm just going to click on this and click on phonics. I have a bunch of games that are all set to go and ready. So if I want to do a game called audio word mash, I just have to listen to the word and then find the new word. And if this happens, something cool, I can just share my screen. So it's already got a backup to the backup. I could share my screen. I can say, okay, I'm just going to share my screen now. And I can go right on over to my program. And now you can see I've been pulling everything up on my bottom screen so that I'm seeing still the student's picture and them, but anything that I share now on my screen is being shared with the student as well. When I'm in the shared screen, I do have the ability to make things bigger if I need to make a book bigger because the words are too small so that they can read it. So I've got options inside of here, guys. I love that. It also means that I can use um, my PowerPoints that I have always used. So let me pull this on down so that you guys can see it. Look at this. So now I'm gonna go to my sharing against I'm gonna say stop sharing. You do have different ways to share. You can share a tab, you can share your entire screen. So now you're gonna see me sharing my entire screen, and I can just go into working with my PowerPoints that I've already put together. So that means that I don't have to recreate everything that I have already spent years putting together. All the tools that I use, they have access to. And so let me just flip this. If I make these big for them to be able to go through fast, they're able to go through their words and be able to read them. So really, really game-changing stuff here. You guys, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, okay? This is the stuff that like, okay, this is how I used to teach with a little bit of added like awesomeness, right? But I think the really big game-changing piece is this piece is the open playground. So what I have done is I've actually copied a lot of my like a beginning kind of set of playgrounds in the beginning here while I set my students on up into their own world. I'm gonna go on into this one, and you're gonna see me come and fly on down into the room. Look at this. Coming in for a landing. Woo! I could turn around. I'm gonna come on in, but your student will land in like this as well. They come in on a parachute. I have a way to look at the world from a top view if I want to, and I can say, "Oh, what's in this world?" And I can, screen out and take a look and be like, "Oh, okay, that's cool," right? Or when I click on this eyeball, watch what happens. I now am in this world and I am immersed. I can actually walk around, explore the world, and you'll see that again, I've really tailored this to the teaching that I do. So those of you guys that know me know that I use this syllable pattern chart all of the time. So that's already here. It is set on up. My student does have the ability to walk around and do those kinds of things. They can change their outfits if they want to. So if you click on here, I had one little girl. She was so cute. She's like, I just need to get dressed for the day. I'm like, oh my God, how sweet is that? So I'm like, you got it. I'm going to give you 60 seconds so you can get dressed. Now I can set this timer over here and we can actually track the 60 seconds so that they know, okay, I gave you those 60 seconds so you could get dressed, but they're not spending too much time on like getting dressed and just playing and doing those kinds of things. But at the same time, allowing them to be a kid, right? And have fun. And I think that's really cool when you can tap into that part of their brain. But I can zoom in on the tool that I want them to zoom in on. And right now, I'm just going to go to a zoom out so we can use this whole entire screen. What I do when I'm working with this syllable pattern chart is I'm able to now collect different words that can go into different syllables that can go on the chart and where. So if we take a look, here's that word single, right? So if I was working on the single, now I just actually just leave these three on up and I just change them. So let's say I have the word begin. I'm going to put be here like this. And I'm going to say, okay, where does this go on the chart? They say open. I'm like, you're right. So I'm going to put that right there under the open part. And then I take this part and I do this. Confirm. Where does this go on the chart? And they say closed. Awesome. So if it's closed, what sound will that I make? They say eh. You got it. Awesome. And now we're going to put that together. We have begin. And they've just read begin. I could do this with any word that I'm looking at. I think the cool thing is I'm just going to exit on out of here and show you on over here the letters that I have put together. So I'm still fixing this. It's not done yet. But again, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so they can see the whole entire screen. And this way, if they're like roaming around, like they're just like walking around and seeing all the stuff and having a lot of fun and doing that kind of stuff, when I need to reel them in, I just put on that focus and then we get right into the activity. It's so funny sometimes because I had one student yesterday that was like, "Ooh," like you could tell, like they realized they were like kind of sweeped on into the board. So it was kind of funny, but you can lock each of these letters. So I'm going to put a lock on here and I'm going to hit a duplicate. The cool thing is when I do that, when I lock it and duplicate, I now have an unlimited amount of letters I can pull down without having to like have to put the letters back in place. Oh my gosh. When I had the hands-on letters that I used to use with kids for hands-on learning, You always had to organize them, sort them, do different things with them, right? And here, look at this. This is just amazing. Absolutely love, love, love it. Amazing. So, I mean, you could have them make the word cat. You can have them make the word, dog. You can have them make, a huge word if you want them to make a huge word. It's totally up to you. Whatever you want to do. But I do love the fact that you can lock it, you can copy it, and then you can make as many as you want. Um, and it just opens up even more opportunities too that we don't even realize sometimes. So I was having a conversation. I asked my student to pull up the letter P today, and instead they ended up. Let me lock this and copy it. They ended up picking the Q, and I said, "Oh, you're super close. Leave the Q there." And let's talk about it because P is real close to Q. Let's see if you can find it. So they pull up the P, and then I was able to show the difference between the P and the Q. And I was able to say, okay, here is the P. Let me show you how I draw that. Now I can just use my pencil, you guys, to draw what does the P do. So I can say swim. I can say dive down, swim up, and backwards curvy C. I said, "But watch this. When I make the Q, I swim down, I dive down, swim up, curvy C." So they can start seeing the difference between the P and the Q. Game changer. Oh my gosh, you guys, so cool. And if I didn't have her go and like grab the P to know that, I wouldn't even have known that, she was making that mistake, right? So teachable moment, like at its best. Am I right? But I think, these are some of the cool features and things inside of here that you can do. I mean, you can build your own boards. You can add walls. You can build more rooms. There's so many amazing things that you can do inside of here that your students are absolutely going to love. We are finally teaching the way they want to be taught. And I think this does make a huge difference. Now, if I don't erase any of this, this is all going to stay here in place. So I'm just going to click on this stuff so it's not messing up my students' actual stuff that they are doing. When you want to erase something, you can just take any of those pictures, put them in the trash, and you are done. There might be a faster way to do that. If you've got a faster way, please tell me. I love learning. I'm definitely not uh, perfect at this. I'm going to show you another room that's inside of here. As we come on through here, you'll notice that, so we were working on spelling words together, and here were her spelling words. She was working on W-A, W-O-R, and W-A-R words. We were able to write the words down. I had her type the words in, and I had her move them to where they belonged on this wall. And she was able to automatically begin to see how to spell these words. And then I was able to test her. So I came on over here. I actually took a picture of our wall that we created. I took a picture of it. I put it on my lower screen. And then what I did is I came on over to this wall over here and I said, all right, I'm going to have you now type in the word. And the words that she didn't get, I put on over here. So again, I come on over here. I go to my teaching tool. She types it on in. Let's say it's worship and she spells it correct. I was like, great, you spelled that perfect. Let's go on to the next one. And she would spell the next one. I'd be like, okay, spell worry. And she would spell, worry. I'd be like, okay, now spell squad. And she would spell, squad. She did something really crazy with it. And then I said, okay, I want you to take a look at how it's spelled. And I spelled it on the one side for her. And I said, what's different? Getting her to notice. And that was super, super helpful for her. When they do explore, they are going to find that there is a separate room over here that you can do whatever you want. You can keep building on here too, which is very cool. You can keep building inside of here and go up, and you can build on top, and you can keep building up and up and up. Oh, wouldn't it be cool to build an entire city that just goes straight on up? Oh my God, so cool. But you'll notice there's cobwebs over in the corner. All right. But then over here, oh my gosh, this was hilarious when we discovered the bathroom. What kid doesn't like potty humor? All right. I'm like, oh, look, we can even decorate your bathroom if you want to. So let me know if you ever need to go to the bathroom while you're, tutoring. We'll make sure that, you do some people I've seen like create like a little reading nook inside of there. Let me show you one of the worlds that one of my friends, you're going to get to actually meet her on Thursday. Her name is Deanna Terry, you guys. And when I found this aquarium room, I was blown away. So I'm just going to open up over here, the aquarium and castle. We are going to fly on in. Oh, and my kids were reading those different words as they were flying on in yesterday, like smelling the roses, catching snowflakes or like whatever it was saying, like my student was actually reading them. I'm like, ooh, that's cool. I like that. So it's not like wasted downtime. This can also be time where you're just having a quick conversation with them, right? About what it is that they've learned. And or it's like a quick brain break. If they just want to just sit and just kind of wait while it loads, they can do that too. Now, you're going to think, how in the world could a really young kid be able to navigate their way around this? You guys, they have been playing Minecraft and Roblox on their mama's phones for a really long time. They've been teaching me how to do this. So, all you do is if you're on a computer, you have your arrows on the side. That's how you move. So, if I move up like this, I'm moving like that. If I go to the side, I now move that way. It's that easy, guys. If I move out of the top-down view, that first-person view, I now again can take a look. I can see from I can see everything that's been created inside of this world from a very quick point of view, right? And I can rotate it around and I can move it and I can say, "Oh, wow," and I can ooh and I can ah and I can so many cool things, you guys. I'm gonna come back to my first-person view here so that you can see how awesome this is. So I'm going to come on in over here and I'm going to enter the museum. This is an aquarium. And I have my students actually stand in front of the photo wall and I do a picture clip where I do a screen, like a screen clip of them with their avatar right there in front of the photo wall and share it with them later on so they can see that. But I like seriously picture like creating all these different worlds where there's always like a photo wall inside of there where they get their picture in front of the wall so they can see all of the places that they have visited. I think that would be so, so cool. Um, all my students have asked me so far, what happens if I fall in the water? And then I say, come on, let's jump in. And they're like, seriously? I'm like, yeah, follow me. And we go on in and we go into the water. Here we go into the aquarium. And so now there's different activities that we can do. There's reading activities, there's searching activities. I can just look around and I could be like amazed at like what's inside of here. I could try to find these answers, right? And to these clues. One of the things over here, they've got, which animal has worked for the US Navy. I had two kids working on, can you find the answer by using this right here? And you can zoom in with the focus tool there. And now look at that. Now, if I want to make this bigger, because it's really hard for them to see, watch what I can do. Because this is kind of tiny, right? I unlock it and now I make it bigger. Boom. And I can focus just on this piece, right? So that's really, really awesome stuff. I am going to put it back to where it was. Cancel. I'm going to make it smaller and put it back on the table and make it smaller. But if you take a look at this one right here, it has the answer to that question, right? Dolphins are very playful and friendly. They're also very intelligent. Dolphins have been used to perform tasks for the US Navy. What a fun way to be able to do that. One of my students made sup on here, so I can delete that. But they're gonna have fun. They're gonna be kids inside of here. But I think this is just so cool, the tool that they get to utilize in order to be a part of this. It's amazing. So there's so much to explore inside of here. And these things you could change. Like if there's anything that you're specifically working on, you could even change this to fit. You can change every single one of these images. They're locked right now, but if I wanted to get rid of that image, I could unlock it and I can delete it. So if I wanted to do that, I could. I don't want to do that because I think it's wonderful the way it is. Before you make any changes or anything like that, make a make sure that you have like a template copy. And then if you want to make changes to any of the different playgrounds, you can do that. There is a marketplace aspect with Koala Go. And if there are going to be certain people that create these amazing kinds of worlds and you can buy them from them. And so the person who created it, they are getting, honored with the work that they have done by being paid for all this work. Because you can imagine how much work goes into something like this. But I can come on up. I'm going to go up the stairs. In order to jump, I have to hit my space bar and the forward button. And I'm going to come on over. And now you have like a different room over here that you can check out. Or you can come back down and you can go and check out the sharks, the shark tunnel. Sometimes you can walk through different walls, which is exciting for kids when they can do that. But here, again, it's got some more clues and more questions for the kids to be able to answer. So really, really awesome stuff. I don't know if this is a wall you can walk through. But nope, that not a wall you can walk through. But some of them you can. It's kind of, and then like my kids, they discover them all the time. So that's kind of cool. So coming on over here. So much to explore. I'm going to be making an alphabet house where it's like all different activities with like alphabet and all that kind of stuff. But you can see here, just so beautiful, you guys. Isn't this beautiful? Can you imagine? I mean, really, the way that we teach has just completely changed forever using a tool like just the conversations and things that you can be talking about are just incredible. My students, I think they like purposely try to find all the walls that they can walk through. Oh, there we go. I found one that I could walk through. Look at that. Look at all these jellyfish. So cool. But anyway, that's what's new inside of my world. You can see how this is very different. And for me to switch, you guys, it has to be completely different. It has to be completely different because if the tool that I'm going to use is not better than the one I'm currently using, why would I switch, right? If the tool doesn't meet the needs of the way that I teach, then I can't use it. It becomes obsolete to me because it's like, oh, well, I can't do that, right? And I've asked my students, what do you think about this? And here are some of the things that my students have said. I'm going to show you some clips from me actually working with some of my students. Now, I'd love to know, Jaden, what was your experience? You just finished your session, Jaden.
Very good.
You loved it, didn't you?
Yes.
Now, you and I have been working together since you were 4 years old,
Yes.
and we've been in Zoom. So now coming
Yes.
into this new world online, what has your experience been like?
Really, really good. Like, I love it.
Hmm.
U.S. Navy.
Oh, we got to figure out
A
which
seal.
animal worked. You think it's a seal?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, let's see. I'm going to turn around because there's some clues over here. Were you guys looking at the
Want
clues over
to-
here? Do you see the clues?
Oh, I'm looking at your face. Yeah.
All right, let's come on over here.
Dolphin.
Does it say seal or dolphin? We'll have to see. I am going to come on over here. Here are the clues.
I look upwards.
You did? All right, what does it say here? Oh, it is dolphins. You saw it.
Ah.
Where was that?
It's right here. It's upside down. I wish there was a way that I knew how to like turn this thing around, but this one's upside down. Oh, can I unlock it? I can unlock it and I can rotate it. Oh, nookie dookie. Look at that. And you know what I can do? I could even make it bigger so that we can read it better if I wanted to.
Look at black.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got to turn off the block stuff. Now, as you are inside of here and you're doing great things, you are going to get rewards. Like you did such a great job for coming on inside of here. Your goal during your session is to earn 5 stars. And if you earn 5 stars, you're going to get 10 gems. The gems you're going to be able to use inside of your own classroom. You want to check out your classroom?
Mm-hmm.
Let's dive in. Coming in for a landing. All right, now you get to choose what you would like to wear. So you have an avatar. Do you see the lady at the bottom of your square with a pen?
Yeah.
You get to go on in and you can choose all of your clothes. I'm going to give you a minute to work on your avatar. Make it look exactly the way you want it to look. And you finished before the time. All right. Come and follow me. I'm going to show you around. So with some kids, I use a syllable pattern chart. I don't really use it too much with you. So we might turn it into something else inside of your stuff. If we turn in here, we have another room. If we look inside of here, this is another board. You can actually move all the letters that are on here. We can delete them. We can add more. We can do lots of cool things with them inside of here. We can work on like vocabulary words. We can draw. There are just endless possibilities inside of here. With the points that you earn and the gems that you earn, you're going to be able to buy stuff. I know one kid who made like a bedroom inside of his. He made it look just like his bedroom at home. Um, Other kids have added furniture, or they've created like a reading nook, or they've just created little things to make it their own inside of here. So that's what you're going to be able to do with your gems. For now, we're going to actually exit on out of here, but I just wanted to see your own classroom that we will make. We'll continue to just build it and grow it and make it amazing. We're going to log out of here. You did great. So I'm going to give you another star. And then I'm going to take you into the playground where you can pull down the letter O. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. So can you take your finger right now? And if you want, you can actually let me unlock the drawing. If you want to draw it with him, you can. Watch this. I just unlocked it for you so that you can draw too.
Oh.
Watch with him.
Start
Go with him.
just below the top line. Draw a curve up to touch the top line. Continue the curve down to touch the baseline. Continue the curve back up to the starting point. Trace.
If you have to select the pencil at the bottom in order for yours to go, but you can trace it just like you were doing. That's fine too.
Lowercase o. Start just below the midpoint. Draw a curve up to touch the midpoint. Continue the curve down to touch the baseline. Continue the curve back up to the starting point.
You did it! Yay! Good work. That was awesome. We're going to come flying into the room. Oh, I see you coming on in. We're going to land inside of the room.
I can't see her.
You can't see
Oh,
her
now I
yet.
can see her. Oh, I saw you. How?
Yeah, we are inside of the room. Let's go over here so we can see each other. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. I see you. Now, do you see a little eyeball at the bottom of your screen? Yeah. Do you see an eyeball at the bottom? When you click on the eyeball, you're now going to be able to move around. Move around. Are you on an iPad?
Yes.
Let's see if you can follow me.
I can't see you.
Let's see. Are you able to move? No, I moved, so that's why you can't see me. So, try to move with your finger. There you go. You moved them. Yeah. See if you can follow me through this little doorway over here. We're going to see if you can find the letter O. Do you see me over here? Here I am. Do you see me? Hi. Come on over. Let's see. Come on over. Oh, can you get inside? Yay, you did it. Good for you. Now, we're going to walk until we see the letter O. Let's go. You ready? Let me know when you see the letter O. We're on an O scavenger hunt. Do you see it yet?
N. No.
Oh, I don't see it yet. Keep going.
I think I see it.
I don't see it yet.
That's just a picture.
Oh, I found it. Let's see if you can find it. Did you follow me? Hey, did you follow me?
Where are you?
Let's see where you are. Oh, come by me. I see it over here. Come on over here. You gotta get closer to me. Get closer to me. Oh, you're walking the opposite direction. Wrong way. Wrong way.
Oh, come
You
on.
won't find an O over there. I see the O down there. So come on back towards me. Yay! All right. Now, do you see the O now?
Yeah, I found the octopus.
You found the octopus and you found the O. Yay! I love it. We're going to come on over to this O. And I am going to have you write. So you're going to take your pencil. You got to pick the pencil. And then you're going to start at the number
Where's the
1.
pencil?
Do you see it at the bottom of the screen? You're going to start at the number
No.
1. And you're going to go all the
I do not.
way around into a circle. Do you see a pencil at the bottom of your screen, Sunshine? Oh, you know what? Let me do this. You don't? You should see it now. Do you see the pencil now? There you go. We've got the letter O. Start at the 1, go all the way around. Yay! All right, now let's go to the little O. Let's go to the little O and make a little O. Yay, there we go. Woo!
Oh,
We can
my
even
God,
come
so
down.
nice.
We can even come down to these lines and we can practice a capital O like this. Capital O. Let's go back to the pencil. Capital O. And lowercase.
Capital.
Yes! Good. There you go. Awesome. Well done. And did you notice that? Oh, look at this. I didn't even know we could do that. That's so cool. I'm going to exit out of here for a second. I'm going to show you. Let's come on over here. You found the picture of the octopus, didn't you? I'm going to walk
I
by
see
you
you.
in turn. There's our octopus picture. All right. Now, did you know that you can change the color of your pen?
No.
You can. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to focus us in on our octopus so you can color it. When you pick your pencil, you now can go to that black dot. Remember where you changed the size of your dot? You can click that black dot that's on there and you can change the color. Like if I want my octopus to be pink, I can make it pink, and I could even use like a bigger like coloring so that I can color it faster. Like this. Did you find it? Great. Oops, sorry. Okay, you keep coloring. Sorry, I was just erasing mine. You go ahead. You can add an octopus. Octopus. Oh, it's got a little bit of red on there, yeah.
Put some eyeballs when.
Oh yeah, that's good. I like that. Oh, he's crying. Looks like he's crying. Oh, he's crying a lot. Oh, poor guy. Now I'm going to take you into your own personal room, okay? I'm going to put you into your own personal room. Here we go. All right, I'm going to erase our drawing.
It's hard.
I know. Crazy. We're going to exit out of here. If you like content like this, you guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is just life-changing. And if you're looking for a way to be able to save more money, if you do decide to join, I do have a link that's going to save you some money. So just go into the description, and there will be a link in the description that has a special discount for you to move to the paid version. So you can check it out for free. I don't suggest that you check it out for free with a student. There are limitations on what you can do and how long you can do them, which might interrupt your sessions. But you can check them out for yourself. You could invite a friend, like a husband or a spouse or a best friend or somebody like that to check out the world with you versus having a student, and then just see, is this a tool that is going to meet my needs? I honestly was thinking that it was going to take me a really long time to be able to learn how to use the features. And I did have some background knowledge on the program, so I learned very quickly, but literally it took me like less than a day to be set up and start teaching. And the best part, oh my gosh, you guys, the 24/7 support. There is a button for 24/7 support, and I've used it twice now. I couldn't figure something else out, and they were there supporting me. This right here is really a 24/7 support. You just type inside of here, and they will type something in. And if you're like, I'm stuck, I don't know how to do this, they'll actually say, can I come into the room with you so I can see what's happening? So when I didn't know how to get to, there's an alphabet room inside of this wonderful thing, and I couldn't get to it. And somebody came on in to help show me how to do that. So